No one practice deceit shall dwell in my house. No one alters lies shall continue before my eyes. This is coming from Psalms 101, verse 7. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is today's live on Equa Television International. And today we have a topic that we are going to discuss. And then we want you to join us on this conversation by dropping your comment on Facebook, and you can do well to follow us in on our all the social media handle, so we can hear what you're going to say concerning what we're going to discuss. Today we're going to look at deceitful partner. Have you come across one? How did you deal with the issue? And I'm not doing this alone. I have Prudence Ruga and I have Joyce Jakarta.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now we are looking at deceitful partner. Yeah, we are partner. You know, we have been talking about relationship. It's like our topics are built up, you know, and then yes, this thing is something that is really eating people, because you relate with people and people come with different intention, you know, to occupy space in your life. And then sometimes you are lucky, sometimes you are not. And then when you are lucky, you are happy, the best out of you comes out because you feel you are together, you are building each other for a purpose. And then to some, along the line, they now discover that they are in the middle of the sea, middle of nowhere, all hopes dashed, because in the beginning, the partner was deceitful in his all action, and you are just discovering, and you are the middle of an ocean. So looking at this today, I want us to look at from the angle of a relationship first. Then we'll look at marriage, and then.
Okay. To start with, before you know how to deal with a deceitful partner, I think it's important that we understand what deceit is, or deception. And then when you talk about like to deceive, it means to deliberately cause someone to believe what is not true. Deliberately cause someone to believe what is not true. And then usually for personal gain, or to take advantage of that person. And the person that deceives knows the truth. There's no deception without that knowledge of the truth. So the deceiver deliberately withhold truth so that he can either take advantage of the deceived, or he tells lies for personal gain. So it's important that we know that deception is like same as falsehood. And you talk about deception being falsehood, is like a statement or an action that is intended to mislead, is intended to hide, is also intended to like hide the truth or promote false belief or ideas, and is often done for personal gain.
Yeah.
Let's talk about deceit in relationship. A lot of times people get into the relationship for different reasons. And maybe while you're looking at it, like, oh, I love this person, I appreciate this person, I think I want to be with this person. The other person is looking at it like, I can take advantage of this person, or okay, but she will not accept, let me just lie to her, and all of that. We've had instances where people will just, okay, she's a church girl, she's a pastor's kid, and if I just come in my nature, in whom I am, knowing fully well that I'm not really that church boy, I'm not really Christ-like, and then with the knowledge of who she is, she will not accept me. This guy will now decide to start coming to church. In fact, he will look for the group that she's in. For example, you're in youth fellowship or you're in band, he will join it, so that he will look like, it will look like, yeah, he knows Christ is a church boy and all of that. And when he sees that yeah, you've seen that he's there, he comes for Bible study and all of that. He now made his intention known to you, and then you just accept him, you go into relationship with him. And as time goes on, he starts withdrawing from the church activities, his real self comes out, and you're asking questions and all of that. Person keep lying, like lie upon lie, just to make you believe what is not existing. So in relationship, there are so many people that are living in deceit. People hide their identity just to get the other person involved in them. And at the end of the day, for me, how do you deal with people like that? People that just deliberately lie for their personal gain, to just have you around them. You leave. The moment you discover, you have evidence that this person you are with, you innocently accepted him because you thought that, oh, this is who he is based on what he presented, and then you later found out that, oh no, he actually lied, or he was living a false lie. I think you can just leave. You are not tied together. You're not married. You're just in a okay, trying to get yourself knowing each other and all of that. Maybe already he said, I'll marry you eventually, but you now discovered that even if he had even engaged you, but you discover that the person, the foundation of that relationship or courtship or dating or whatever was built on lies, you can just quietly leave.
What's that take?
That's her take. But I'm totally agreeing with
You
her.
agree with her?
I think at that point it's best to leave, because yes, the person might just try to deceive you again by telling you, oh no, I did all that because of the love I have for you. No, I did all that because I was concerned about you. It was for you. Most of the times that's the lies we hear. I did it for you. It was because of you that I did what I did. But then the truth of the matter is that it's not. It's for the person's gain. For instance, you find somebody approaches a lady and he says, I love you and blah, 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 all the stories that comes with that. Then later on, she finds out that after he has finished professing love to her, he's still professing love to another person. And then she tells him, I don't understand what's going on. He would begin to tell her, no, you're the only one that I love. Already, you know that's deceit. And a lot of ladies still continue to live in that relationship because they will say something like, let's continue doing all the other side chicks and the main girl. But the truth of the matter is that if you stay in a marriage, in a relationship, sorry, not a marriage, please don't take me wrong, I did not say marriage. Please. If you stay in a relationship that from the beginning the person was already lying, probably the lie might not be as huge as this two timing, double dating somebody else alongside you. It could just be that this person did not even tell you about his family background. Or maybe he told you something that was misleading. Yes. So whatever it is, the slightest bit of this deceit, be cautious, be conscious, be aware of what is going on. See, if you find out something like that, it's best, as she said, to work out. But if there's a way out of, if the person that is deceiving later on comes up and tells you, okay, so this is what I did. Like you didn't find out somewhere else. You tell the person that the person comes and tells you this is what I did in the first place and I'm sorry for deceiving you. I think at that point it is possible to reconcile. But if you did find out somewhere else, the best thing to do is to work out.
You know, Prudence, people that deceive, like they do that intentionally. Like I've heard over time how that guys can sit and talk and say, girls they are moved by what they hear. If you tell her if you tell her like the truth, she will not like you. So tell her what she wants to hear.
Yeah, yes.
So they will tell you, guy, if you go there, tell them waiting she 1 year. Like tell the lady what she would like to hear. Oh, you look beautiful, you are this, you are that. but in the true sense of it, that's not what they meant, and they are doing that because there's something they're after. You get? So in that situation where the person keeps lying to you and they will keep coming up with falsehood just to cover up, because there's something he's after. The intention is not good.
Yeah.
You get? Because there's no way you mean well for somebody and you keep deceiving that person. Why would you come to like the GM will say the lady is on her own and you decide to go and meet her. She did not tell you that come, oh. You went, and then the whole intention is just to deceive the person into maybe just whatever you want out of that person. So like I said, there are instances where a guy can just come to you, oh, I love you, you're beautiful, I want this out of this relationship and all of that. Tomorrow you realize that he's telling that to another lady that I love you, this, that. You're seeing text messages, you're seeing evidence and all of that. Like, you keep asking, the person keeps covering up lies upon lies. Like, what will I be doing there? Honestly, I will leave.
Yeah, true.
That's how I deal with that.
Very true. And the thing is that most of the times, when you start out lying, it continues to build. Okay, so you start out deceiving this person. Probably you said this to deceive the person. Tomorrow, you say another thing to still cover up for that first one that you said. And then next tomorrow, you might have to do something to cover up these. It could reach a point where you would have to blackmail people or pay bribes because you want cover-ups. Then for you as a person who is deceiving, you just building on your crime. Most of the times that's what happens. You just continue to build, you build. At the end of the day, when it comes to crash, like, it's a huge crash, because no matter how long, I know I've heard of people who have deceived someone for a span of like 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. But the truth of the matter is that one day, these lies are going to be out. You can't continue to deceive this person for that long. The person is not dumb like that.
You see, I was about to say that, because, you know, in relationship you find out, like, people come with different motives, just like you said earlier, and then some are just there to destroy you because they are agent of the devil. You know, they have been there, like you said earlier, they know the truth, but they are out. That church girl, let me just put a stain on her. But how do I go about it? Then the devil will give him all the skill, the tactics, and whatever. Like you said earlier, tell her what she wants to hear. But you see, yes, this is the kind of the world we are living in. You understand? Just look at during the creation. You see how we establish the issue of how the devil came and then he deceived Adam and Eve at the Garden of Eden. You understand? So by you putting that garment, you know automatically who is your father. It's the devil. And that's what he always do that to destroy the original plan of God. Now, if he knows that, you know, you are having a relationship that will lead to marriage, and he knows that you are going to be a good you are going to be a good wife to your husband, and you're going to raise God-fearing kids. You under God-fearing children that will influence the society about God's standard, how God wants things to be. You know, first of all, he will start by attacking the relationship. By bringing wrong people in your life. But the beauty of it is that, you know, we have the Bible, which is the manual. It's the ultimate, the biggest book, and the only truth that we hold on to as a Christians, because everything about life, you know, that guide us is there. And you know exactly what the Bible say about liars. The devil is your father. Normally he come to deceive, to destroy, and then to kill. You understand? So I want to believe that it is very important for you to have that spirit of discernment. Spirit of discernment. Like, for instance, if ladies are the ones that are being always approached, okay, I see you, I like you, you're beautiful. I think that's the conversation, right? You know, I love your smile, you know.
Okay.
Just category. Okay.
Yeah, some are genuine.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's just the spark of the conversation to see how you respond, and then on and on and on and
Once
on.
they see you blushing left, right, and center, they go back and look for more words.
That is it. So once they start, then they start reading your body language. Your body language, your reaction. How do you react to some particular words that come to you? And then gradually they start engaging you in some deep conversation. What they normally do is to work with your psyche and see what you hold on to. If you say you are a church girl, there are certain conversations that will come your way without you truly knowing that that's the way it's going. But he's trying to test the waters and see truly, are you a church girl? And before you know it, those weaknesses in you, we are not perfect. Those weaknesses in you, he will capitalize on. And he start building. What is that she likes? He start building. Like you said earlier, a man, if you want to prove a point, he can stay 10, 15 years and prove a point and leave. He doesn't see anything wrong. He doesn't see anything wrong. Particularly those that don't believe in Christ, in quote, because they are there in church. You know how the Bible describes, you know, them coming
Some
to the
people say
gathering.
they're unbelieving believers.
That's it, with their goats, but with the sheep clothing. You understand? They know the Bible, they can cut it and left, right, center. And then sometimes they will make you think like
They're
you didn't even
Christian.
study Christianity.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. They will use the verse. If you say that's where your strength is, and they will interpret it for you differently to suit them. It is later that you discover. But what am I saying? That spirit of discernment is that thing that will help you. You know, sometimes we need to really know what exactly we want. That's number one. Number two, what is the Bible saying about me? Right? Okay, if it's a relationship, why am I going into the relationship? He's coming. Is he ready for marriage? If he's saying he's getting married in 2 years, am I ready in 2 years? Should I agree? Sometimes we don't check some of these things to see whether his vision and our vision even align. We easily, first date, already you told the man everything about you. You don't have anything again to discuss with you because you told him everything. So he will use everything you say to manipulate you to get what he wants. Anything that you say, the man now will become defensive because he already know everything about you. So that spirit of discernment is very, very important. Why are you even going into that relationship? That spirit of discernment will help you checkmate those things. We know some deceitful people can go extra miles. So that's the reason why I'm talking about this spirit of discernment. You know, for you to really check and see, is this person, what he's saying, matching with his word? Yes, some gradually can go. But I'm assuring you, it depends on the power of how you know the word of God. Because there are certain things that are not being revealed physically. Certain things, you know, it's spiritually. The spiritual realm, that's when you see some revelation about certain people. That's why sometimes if you are deeply rooted and you know what you are doing and you ask certain questions to your spouse, they think you are using a different power. Yes. It's either you are using a ring or you eat one garlic or something. Yes, because it will shock them that how did you know? he's planning this or she's planning this. You understand? So I feel from the beginning it is very, very important we lay this foundation. Know the reason why you are going into the relationship. If you are ready for it, why not? If you are ready for it, that means you have set a parameter for yourself to checkmate those things. And like you rightly said, once you discover he or she is living this kind of life, number one is not to deal with the person, is to deal with the issue. How do you deal with the issue? Now, trying to tell the person there is something in you that is not right. And you think if we together, we are to build a home, this relationship should continue. I think certain things should be adjusted. In the process, you will know whether he has accepted or she has accepted that, yes, I need to make some adjustment and we need to go. Then that means your eye is on something and you will monitor. And believe me, even if possibly maybe the person is coming with a deceitful mind and now meeting you, you can change him. And that relationship can be positive. You understand? But in a situation whereby you notice that these things are not really going, the person still brings excuse, is always defensive, trying to prove a point, he always take his own side, then you should know that it is time for you to leave.
To change someone, well, it doesn't go that well for me, saying you want to stay with a deceitful person to change the person. Well, it all depends on the reason why the person is involved in the deceit, because a lot of people will give so many reasons as to why they are actually deceiving their partners. Like there's this white lies that people call. So they said the intention is to protect their partner because they know that when the partner find out the truth. Now, I'm just talking about in whether as young people or married. People will tell you that, oh, it's not lie, it's just white lie. I'm just doing that to protect you. If I just come out bluntly and tell you that this is it, you might be hurt. You might decide to just pack and leave. Maybe in an instance where the partner is cheating with another person, and then you just call and ask, the person just lies, no, I'm with my friends and all of that. So they will tell you it's white lies. We're doing it to protect you so that you don't get hurt. You can even evidently see him with the person and you say, oh, it's my colleague, and that's just to cover up. And they tell you it's white lies. So for some, it's low self-esteem because they don't want you to see them less than who they want you to see them. So they always lie about their personality. So I think there are so many reasons why people are involved. These are just few in deception. But the truth is that the Bible kept emphasizing, like one of the strongest strategies that the devil used is deceit. And I don't think anyone should tour that path. Like relationships shouldn't be built on deceit. Like there are instances where homes are broken. Why? Because some partners, like over time, discovered that the foundation was faulty. It was built on lies. It was built on deceit. And when there is deception, it breeds mistrust. It breeds anger and even bitterness. So think about living with somebody that you're bitter with. Like the home wouldn't even be a place to stay, even for you as a visitor. And then the aim of even the marriage is being defeated. So in the first place, when you're getting yourself involved in any relationship, have you identified purpose? Like, have you come to that realization of who am I? Why am I? I think we always ask ourselves this key question, who am I? Why am I getting into this with this person? Then it's going to save us some trouble. A lot of, so you hear people say, if I wish I can turn the hands of clock, I wish if I had known that when I will go out, it's you that will meet, I would have stayed back at home and pick sand from beans. Like the sand that will never finish, that's what they will do. So we keep saying, if I had known. Why? Because we got involved with the wrong people at probably the right time or even the wrong time. So why all the regrets? For me, I would say, well, it has happened. There are always lessons from even our pains. So the fact that you are alive is another opportunity to get it right. there are stories told of partners that know, let me use the man for example, that he is infertile. He has gone for the test and he's aware that he is. And then he gets involved with a lady without telling her that, oh, this is my problem. And then tells her that, oh, I want us to get married and all of that. She accepts, they get married, and then maybe years into the marriage, there's no child, and people keep blaming the lady. Imagine the trauma and everything she's going through, and he refused to talk. He can even go as long as also pointing fingers at her, knowing well that the problem is from him. Imagine waking up and then stumbling on a file that is your husband's own and seeing the medical reports. Like, imagine how devastating it's going to be for the lady, having gone through all the insults, and even from the person that is even aware that he's the one with the problem. I think the aim of that marriage will be defeated. So whether you think you are married to be happy or you're married to grow together, how would you grow together with somebody that's been lying to you? So in the first place, like you said, I think it's important for us to avoid having deceitful people. Even though I know some people will say your gender, if you tell them the truth, they will know. That's why they keep lying, so that you prefer when they lie to you. When the people come with truth, you don't accept them. It is those ones that come with lies that you accept them. So that is why some people say that's why they are lying. But like I always say, there's no excuse for failure. And at the end, truth will always pay.
Prevail.
Lies can only work great for a short period of time. It will definitely come out. So why won't you just be truthful to your partner? Imagine you saying that you're supposed to travel, and then you tell your partner that, oh, I'll be traveling tomorrow, and the journey is next tomorrow, and just for you to just go and hang out somewhere and something happens to you. Like, think about how it's going to look on even your image. So the intention first for marriage, what is God's ideal plan for marriage? Is it for you? If for you ultimately is to be happy, I think it's not enough. It should be part of the reason why you want to get married. But think about growing together, journeying together with your partner to achieve, to accomplish that purpose in which God has created you for. Think about you coming together to reflect the image of Christ. You won't even think of deceiving your partner, because how would you work together if you don't agree? The two becoming one is not saying that you come and blend and just become number one. But the oneness there is unity. So when you think about it in that light, you will even come to somebody lying to be who you're not, so that tomorrow you now be yourself. There can be unity with these differences. So it's important that if you are already in a relationship where you are deceiving the other person, open up. Some people are in relationship with people that they know they will not marry them. And you're already aware of it. Why are you with the person? So I think you should... There's no point. If you know you are already in a relationship with somebody that you will not marry the person, don't deceive the person. Save yours. It's a sin. Because you know the right thing, you don't do it, God will count it as a sin. Open up to the person and say, for this reason or for that reason, I think we can't continue this. And you leave the person. Whoever you think aligns with your purpose or your vision or your value, you go for the person. And then for you that is being deceived, and you have reasons, enough evidence, and then the person keeps covering up with more deceit. And you know one thing about our conscience, and you spoke about being sensitive, like trusting God for, like, to be sensitive, not just physically, even spiritually. There's a level of relationship you create with Christ that some things you don't feel comfortable with. So get to that level that even when people tell you things, your partner is lying to you, you would know that, no, this is not true. And don't lie to yourself that he will change. With time, he will change. Like, before the show, I was telling you, I had my share of bad breaks. Like, I kept thinking, oh, this person would change. Eventually, you change. There are things that I saw that were not true, but I was hoping that, well, with time, it will change. But it was more like lies upon lies, piling up lies upon lies. But, you know, as God will make it, you know, he will always say he will not leave his own. It came out. And evidently, like, and it was so open. So there was no more lies to cover it up again. So if you think you are succeeding in deceiving another person, a day is coming that you won't have any light to cover it up again. And if you are being deceived and you are thinking that, oh,
That's the end of the world.
I will change.
You were saying how the person that continues to deceive and just continues to build on and deceiving the person. I like to classify that person as wicked because the truth of the matter is that that person that you're in a relationship with has a lot of options. And at that point, this person is studying and checking out who is this right person I should stay with, who should I live my life with. And then you come pretending to be who you are not so that she would choose you or he would choose you. And then at the end of the day, that's not what the person is choosing. What the person is choosing is different. The truth of the matter is that you are wicked. You are wicked. Your wickedness is deep. Because your conscience is not even pricking you that you are not doing right to this person. So at the end of the day, you're just building your life. You're basing your life to hurt somebody intentionally. Because these lies, as I said earlier on, will definitely come out. There's no way that you hide life for eternity.
Like just okay.
And I wanted to say, if this relationship leads to marriage and then children, that a lot of marriages are there, like a lot of people are still staying in their marriages because of their children. Why is that? You found out this person had been lying to you earlier on. A lot of them, that's what happened. He lied to you about this, he lied to you about that, he said this and it was not true. And you're just staying because of your children before she came into the marriage. So it depends from open up to them and tell them this is what I've been saying and that is really right, this is not what I've been saying that is wrong. I know that it would hurt the person at that point, but the fact that you are conscious about it and you came to approach the person, it will be easier for people to, both of you, to find
healing. Yeah.
That reminds me of a man that got married to a woman, and that marriage was on deceit. Like, he knew his lifestyle was not something she was going to accept him for. Do you know that he was the one that was actually saying that? So he joined the choir because she was in the choir. She was in the baptism class. He joined the baptism class, and he made his intention. She accepted him because of who she knows him to be. And then, but he was into alcohol. He drinks, like he flirts and all of that. So because he knows that she knows that part of him, she will not accept him. He decided to show her the other part. When he comes, let's talk Bible and all of that. And then she accepted him. They got married. He now went back to his normal life, stays out late. She was wondering, like, what happened? They got baptized together. What happened? And then he'll go out, come back drunk. And so the real self was already coming out. How long do you want to hide yourself? How long do you want to lie or deceive? So it showed up, and she was not happy. She was bitter, you know, always crying. Like, this was not the life she wanted for herself. And the fact that she had always had that dream of building up a home where people will see and see Christ. She wanted her children to grow to know God by even emulating, like, they are seeing how her and the husband will live and emulate, like, love God through their lives. And then having just after the marriage, what she starts seeing is the person you're married to coming back drunk, staying out late. So she was, how would her children, how would she train her children under this condition? So she was not happy. She was always crying, tried to talk to people about it. But it got to a point that she kept praying. He opened up and he apologized. I'm really sorry. This was what I did. And I really liked you, but I felt you were not going to accept. And he apologized to her. She accepted, and they worked out things. They seek counsel and they work out things again. So there are people out there that actually are in relationship, but it was born out of deceit. The foundation of that marriage, whether you're married or not, marriage is also a relationship. So
Sure.
when we keep referring to
Sure.
relationship, like it affects both the married and unmarried. So you might have been married to that woman or that man on deceit. The foundation is faulty and things are not working out. Even you will not be happy. So there's always that chance to make it up again. Like I'll always say, if you sleep, you wake up, is another chance to make it up. Like you can start all over again. You can open up to your partner. Tell the person, this is it. God is ever near, is merciful to forgive us. He left the 99 for one. This is how much he loves us. So you can start all over again. Seek God's forgiveness. Seek your partner's forgiveness, and you can make it right. But in a situation where that your partner has been deceiving you, you have evidence, you keep trying to approach them or talk to them in a subtle way, maybe they end up even beating you and all of that, or they keep coming up with lies upon lies. Sometimes they even push the blame on yourself for that thing you confront them about. You're wondering, what should I do? I think it's important to deal with that kind of person. You can, if you are sure, you have facts that this person has been deceiving, you can seek counsel. You can seek counsel, and prayerfully, I know God is going to help out of it.
Sure. You see, well said. You see, the reason why we emphasize on the relationship, because that's where it's built and then it gets to marriage. So some of these things, we don't normally get it right at the foundation. There are some certain things that we overlook, and then we say it doesn't matter. You are seeing it, it's happening, but you are saying it doesn't matter. Just like the way you are saying, like you are seeing a deceitful person, it's clear, you have the evidence, and God is telling you He's telling you something, but you are acting the other way. You understand, and you are like, I will work on him, I will work on him. And then at the end of the day, you are in it, and then nothing is really working out. So at that point, you have nobody to blame. Rather, you blame yourself, because you will say you have seen all the signs, and then you are just adamant about it, and you just went ahead. So at the end of the day, there will be no joy. Whatever you are thinking that you're coming to that family to enjoy is no longer there. And I'm telling you, anything that is being built on lies, it won't stand. It won't stand. And like you said, like the issue of the man that deceived his wife, he knows, even since from the relationship, that is important. And then you are quiet about it. And this is a young lady that she have the dream of bringing children that she will train, godly children and the rest. And then it's not her fault in any way. And then here she is. So if you are living for 50 years, 60 years with her, that's how she will live. If you told her from the beginning, maybe she will make up her mind. Just like those that have sickle cell will normally do, and said, I have sickle cell, like, no problem. We are not going to have children. We'll stay like this. And they agree, and they get married. And some will tell you there's no problem, whatever comes. That one, the two of you are in it together. So you know how to go about it. But in a situation whereby, one lied to one another, and then if it's an issue of, like the one you said, I think they should see their pastor. It is very key, it is very important, because a young lady, like that is just coming, and then she just discovered this is it. Maybe after 5 years, already she has invested another 5 years. Maybe maybe you spend 3 years in a relationship, or 2. She invests another 5 in the relationship, making 8. And then she doesn't see that future now coming. It takes the special grace of God. It takes a woman that really know her position, where God placed her, and what God says, and that mission that he has for her. So you see, the issue of defining who you are first is the issue. Who are you? It will help. So I feel it is very key, young people that are into relationship. If you are starting a relationship, for what? Are you ready for marriage? If you are, is he ready?
You know the story we talked about yesterday of that young lady that the guy met her. He said he wanted to marry her, and she said, no, I don't want to get married now. I want to further my education. But he told her that, no, when we get married, I promise you, you are going to continue. And then after the marriage, first child, and she said, you said I was going to go back to school. And he told her that, is it my child I want to start thinking of paying school fees, or I should start thinking of paying your school fees? I can't afford that. And she said, boy, you told me you were going to do this. Just think, like she was supposed to further education, but this man told her, no, don't worry, when we get married, I'm going to do it. That's deception.
It's true.
And she accepted. Her parents were willing to sponsor her education, but he told them, no, I'm going to do it after the marriage. You were like older than her. She was. You took advantage of her vulnerability, and then she accepted and got married to you. She asked you about education, and you say, is it the children you want to think of, or her? That's like Prudence said, is wickedness, and it's counted as sin against you, and there's punishment to it. So if you know it is something you cannot, for some people it's promises beyond attitude. It is promises that they make to their partners. When we get married, I will do this to you, I will do that. Why deceive people? You're going to, I'll fly you to this country, our honeymoon will be there, I'm going to buy this, that for you. Why deceive people? Be you. If the person wants you, fine. If the person doesn't want you, fine. If the person believes in your future, fine, you can start. If the person doesn't believe in your future, let the person be. Is it all about what you acquire? Is it all about material thing? What is the goal of, like, sometimes when people tell you they want to get married, have you asked questions? I'm ready to get married. Why do you want to get married? You think it's just all about bearing somebody's name and that is all?
Some will even tell you, I want to leave my father's house.
Yes, like that's the reason. I want to be happy. Do you know there are times that same person, if you build your acceptance or your readiness of marriage on so that I will be happy, or if you define your love as happiness, there are days that same person, you wonder if it was the same person you prefer love. There are challenges will come that it takes only your stand in Christ to help you continue the movement with that. It's far beyond that feeling, mushy feeling. You wake up one day and see that, like,
It's the same person I love.
you get like, where's the love, Save? You ask yourself, where's the love? So beyond defining love as feelings, as just commitment, I think you should see it as even divine assignment. Because if you know your place in Christ and you know where you are headed, how that you want to be more of him and then less of you, you know that you're going to look out for somebody that also has a stand in Christ, that when challenges come, how will you deal with it? Is it on your knees? Is it that you go back to God, or you look for one native doctor, or you want to look for friends or family that will tell you, go and beat her, go and, like, there are a lot of things that you need to consider. Or you just see a beautiful face and you just want to get married to, and tomorrow you just say she deceived me because you did not see the beauty again. You're thinking, oh, this person is so intelligent, I can get married to you, and tomorrow you see that the intelligence is becoming disrespectful to you or something, and you start saying, I was deceived by this, or oh, I thought you actually know more but I'm seeing less. Like, what's the reason? What are you building this marriage on? So I think we need to see it beyond mushy feelings and all of that. Let's look at it as divine assignment. Can we stay and tarry in the place of prayer? I want to be kind to this person. I want to love this person. I'm ready to adjust. I'm ready to forgive. Like, that was a prayer, heartfelt cry of a man that wants to marry a woman that together they are going to fulfill God's purpose for their life. They will grow in Christ. Like, if that is your heartfelt prayer as a man or as a woman, you won't see any reason to deceive anybody. Rather, when I see a young lady or a young man and I want to marry this person, but I'm seeing that, no, our vision is not aligning, what we stand for is not the same, I wouldn't need to even go to the person to start lying to the person. There's no need. So why not focus on that person that you know together you will function? You get. So it doesn't pay to lie. It doesn't even pay to live a lie. You won't even be happy. Think about a home where you come back to and everybody is looking unhappy. That's not what you want. So I think let's think of being truthful. Let's think of standing by the truth. God is love, and if you base your love on him, you won't deceive your partner.
And you're saying earlier on that it goes beyond mushy feelings. The truth of the matter is that if you focus on mushy feelings, you will only see what you want to see. And so at the end of the day, when you come and you're feeling deceived, sometimes it wasn't deliberate. It was because you were seeing what you wanted to see. So at that point, you deceived yourself. So it's essential that you look at all those aspects before you jump into a marriage. Let me not say jump, please. Before you go into a marriage. Because I say jump is like something you're just doing in the spur of the moment. It's not a spur of the moment thing. It's something that you have to think about.
No, but if you don't take your time to think, analyze, digest, and take a stand, then that means you are just jumping.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it's something that you have to take your time, analyze it. As you said, discernment. Where does discernment come from? It comes from God.
Word of God, yeah.
So if you are focused on God and you have this discernment, I don't see any reason that you would deliberately jump into being deceived, because sometimes you position yourself in a place that you would be deceived. For instance, you just want to get married because everybody's saying you should get married. At that point,
your friends are
focused
getting
on
married.
just getting married. So you're not even bothered about who the person is, what the person has to bring to the table. You're just focused on getting married because everybody tells you to get married. So at that point, you're deceiving yourself. So whatever this person is telling you, whether it is true or lie, you yourself is responsible for.
Because you deceive yourself that you are ready for it while you're not.
So the thing about deceit is that sometimes it's a two-way thing. You have to open up your mind to hear God speak to you. That's what discernment is really. So that he will tell you, this person that you want to go into marriage with, is he the right person for you? Is he who God chose for you? I came across something that said, marriage, in the issue of marriage, God respects your choice. Although yes, he might have somebody for you that he wants you to have, but he respects your choice when you have already made it.
That's willpower.
So at that point, you need to be close to him so that you'll be able to work with
Direct you.
choice that you have made. So regardless whatever somebody is telling you, the truth of the matter is, whatever relationship you're having, whatever marriage you're going to go into, or whatever marriage you are into, it is your choice. You have to make that choice. And that's why they will always ask you, do you take this person to be your lawfully wedded husband or wife? So if you stand in front of a congregation and you have said this yes, why would you say yes on lies, please?
You know, some people will tell you that the reason why I lied is because my partner usually overreacts when I tell him or her the truth.
The truth, yeah.
So, what if you just die after lying? Do you think of that? And then I think on the other parts for the partners too, maybe we should change our behaviors. Overreacting. Sometimes you can just, you know how that somebody wants to tell you something, before you land, you just attack the person. It's important that you change that behavior, overreacting. It might be something else, not what you're thinking. There's one strong comment that I want us to read.
Yeah, sure.
I saw deceit is like manipulation, and it can be an equation to witchcraft. Wow. We need to be attracted to a person's inside, not outside, because in a relationship these days, people are only attracted to the outside, and he or she will tell you what you want to hear. Deceit is more of a character problem. Let's learn to pursue wholeness, because a whole person will not lie or deceive you to get you. And I think that's a powerful one there, coming from Sele Elisha. We also have Hajara saying, keep up the good work. Thank you for also joining us and sharing your thoughts. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Sele said it's witchcraft.
Yeah, yeah. The Bible says it. He said manipulation is witchcraft. That's how it put it. There is no any other way to really put it. You understand? And then you see the issue of divorce crisis in marriages now is because of the issue of deceit. You know, I'm coming to you with the truth, you are coming to me with a lie, and then later, after taking those vows, knowing that, you know, you have commit yourself to it, and then you discover the person just lied to you, and then you are in the middle of the sea. Like, you start wondering, are you to continue or are you to back out? And in some cases, you will find out that even you are trying to help the person. After discovering, you're trying to help the person, but the person is not willing. So sometimes you start asking yourself, you know, is it that you didn't take your time? Is it that you made a wrong choice? Is it that God directed this person to deal with you in your life? And then you will find out in that family there will be no growth, there will be no peace, because every day somebody is living in pain, in bitterness. Because anytime he sees you, or he hears someone calls your name, or he hears your voice, even if he's happy, he gets pissed off. You know, either man or woman. So I feel like you rightly said earlier, if you find yourself in such situation, particularly in marriage, and you discover this is the level of the lie, yes, if you are somebody that is truly deep in the word of God, I feel it's important you concentrate, and then God will tell you exactly what to do. If you think you cannot, I think you can visit a man of God that you trust him, you know, to give you counseling. And I think that will really help. The whole summary of the whole thing is that, you know, if you are that kind of person that is deceitful, you are not born again. You are not just born again.
And I think
because
people should also know that deceit breeds anger, it breeds bitterness and even mistrust. But you see, truthfulness is going to bring about love, honor, and trust. And I think people should know that this marriage, partnership, relationship, you should see it as commitment to Christ. And when you see it as commitment to Christ, like, it's fundamental for growth in that relationship you find yourself.
So, and I was saying something about choice. So you choose, and then you find out at the end of the day that you chose the wrong person. It hurts. That's what we talked about, bitterness. It could cause infidelity in the family. Because you're not comfortable with what you got at the end of the day, so you might just spin off and join the person in sin. So at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that you need to just focus more on you and God, and please pray for them. Pray for the person that is deceiving.
It's no easy though.
So that you will be able to forgive.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I say it's not easy though.
I was thinking it's not easy to deceive.
It's not easy at all.
To pray
It's
for someone that
it's not
inflicts
easy.
pain.
But if you are able to
deceit,
pray for that person, it will be easy for you to forgive that person. And that does not mean that you are going to be somebody that anybody can turn around and do whatever they want to do. It's just because you know who you are in God.
Right.
That's what
Prudence, thank you. Joyce, you want to drop a word or
God
it's
is
a wrap
love.
up?
God is love. Let's build our love on that foundation.
Yeah.
You know, First John chapter 1 verse 9 says, if you confess our sin, you know, that's an assurance. You know, I think Jonah Oni say, good work, please be careful. Wrong assumption about your spouse.
Yeah, you know, we spoke about
we
overreacting.
Yes, you know, some things you just assume. And like you said, women, you know, she
Women?
just act. No, she just made one example earlier. You know,
Earlier,
Offset. Yes, Offset.
Okay.
You know, she said